Hola amigos, ¿qué tal estáis? Hace tiempo que ya no subo vídeos. Porque me he ido de vacaciones. Pero he vuelto. Bueno, quería enseñaros un gameplay de la beta del Call of Duty Black Ops 3. He de decir que el gameplay no es mío, es de un amigo que me lo ha dejado para hacer el vídeo. Bueno, ¿qué puedo decir de este juego? Amigos, ya no me gusta Call of Duty. Es una porquería. Os voy a decir los motivos. Antes Call of Duty no era tan futurista como ahora, no había gente que se ponía un traje para saltar, ni había exopollas como se llame, es mi opinión amigos. Lo único que me ha gustado más o menos es que cuando juegues la campaña podrás jugar con 4 amigos, y pasarte la campaña con ellos. En el juego podemos ver que ya no tenemos el exoesqueleto. Algo bien que ha hecho la compañía, pero podremos seguir trepando por las paredes y correr. Una cosa nueva que han implementado es disparar bajo el agua y poco más. Bueno, yo lo veo igual que el Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, pero con unas mejoras. Yo tenía la ilusión de que este juego iba a volver al modo de los principios del Call of Duty. Pero bueno, esperemos que no sean tan capullos los de Activision y hagan caso a los fans, y eso es todo. Os dejo con la demo.
And since people get to play all of this, since people get to test it, since they're going to have the opportunity to talk about it and post it on social media and all these sort of things, if there's problems with the settings, map, guns, anything, they don't have that excuse like, oh, we didn't know, our internal testing didn't work, blah blah blah. No, they will know to fix these things. And if something is wrong with the game, you need to let Treyarch know about it. A big community push can change things. If the community universally agrees that something is bad or not good, a big push can change things. And even sometimes smaller ideas, simple ideas, just a good idea can get a little bit of love on social media or be put in front of the right person at the right time and really, really change things. I'll use an example from Ghost. The search and rescue was an idea that showed up on Reddit, and a lot of the changes in AW come from Twitter, just talking to the devs and that sort of thing. So even just little good ideas that they read can change things, and that's really, really good. And I highly encourage you to be vocal about things. Firstly, you need to be vocal about what you do like about the beta so they know what direction is good, what the community likes, and where to go in the future with DLCs and weapons and design and all this sort of stuff. And secondly, after being vocal about what you do like, you need to be vocal about what you don't like. I didn't really need to tell you guys how to do this because it's very easy to do, but you need to be very vocal about it so that it can get fixed quickly. However, this isn't saying that you should, spam Vonderhaar until the end of time because he already gets like 8 million messages a day, or make a petition on petition.org to kind of demand changes, which, by the way, petition.org is like a company. It doesn't really do anything but just send a letter once you hit all 100,000 signatures or anything, or just generally be hateful. Anybody, I can hit caps lock on my keyboard and spam hate on YouTube and Facebook and all sorts of places, but that just gets ignored. Like, no matter how angry you are about something, when you try to express that anger on the internet, it just comes off goofy and awkward and doesn't get anything done. So don't do those things. Those things don't work at all. There are much, much better ways to get noticed and get things changed, such as being well spoken and well written online. And this sounds crazy, but people generally ignore those with terrible grammar or all caps or anger when you use words like faggot and racial slurs and horrible and shitfest and stuff like that. Nobody cares about that. If you're well written, if you can write a paragraph that somebody can read and understand very easily, it gets paid much more attention to than random garbage. Also, providing clear reasons for why something is good or bad. You can't just say good or bad or like I like this or hate this. That doesn't really help anybody. But saying this is good because it does X, Y, and Z, or bad because it affects these other things, and offering a little bit of constructive criticism goes way further than hate. And also offering a solution on how to make it better is the best thing you can possibly do, especially, and this comes in the complaint department. Let's say you don't like something, it's broken. Well, you can just say it's broken, fix it, or you can say it's broken and fix it in this particular manner, and it gives them an idea of what you want and where you're going. So you do a lot of, you kind of kill two birds with one stone right there. There's a couple of really good places to give feedback. One of those is the official Call of Duty forums. I know they're going to be watching those like a hawk when this goes live. I know not even a fraction of the community is registered there, but it's a big place. You've got other large forums like I Play COD, or large Facebook groups, which I think again is I Play COD. So you've got Facebook groups, that's big. Twitter is surprisingly effective. Twitter gets kind of spammy and overwhelming sometimes, But tweeting at devs, nice respectful tweets, they do get read, they do get internalized, and sometimes they lead to very nice changes, and Reddit is a fantastic place. r/COD competitive is a booming sub-community on Reddit, and r/Black Ops 3 is growing. You can go there. It's a really nice format for writing long paragraphs of posts and linking things. For anything complicated, any big ideas you have, I'd put on Reddit, and it also lets the rest of the community give you some feedback on that too. And also, I would suggest on smaller practical changes. At this point in the development cycle, it is too late for the community to demand something giant. It's a 3-year cycle. You're dealing with Treyarch and then Activision, which are two large companies, and then a massive a large company and then a massive corporation. You got hundreds of people up the chains of command. You're not going to be able to change anything. Like, it's way too late to go out and demand a Modern Warfare 2 remake. That's not going to happen. It's way, way, way too late to remove 3D movement from the game or remove specialists, because this game has to be done in a month or two. This game has to be gold and PlayStation and Microsoft and Steam certified. If I had to bet, probably like in September or so, maybe very, very early October, so they don't have time to recode everything or scrap all of Black Ops 3 and rebuild it from the ground up. But there are some things we can change. I suggest going for slightly smaller practical improvement changes instead of redoing the whole game, making suggestions for hit markers for deaths or the headshot hit markers from AW, putting those in the game. That would be nice. If there's a problem with specialists, we could recommend changing the timer balance, because the abilities, they take different times to charge, and if one ability is really, really strong, it should obviously take longer to charge, and if we don't feel the balance is right, we need to be vocal about it. Or if a specialist is too strong, or if an ability is too strong, or if something's annoying, we need to explain why it's annoying and why this is bad for the game, and we can be vocal about that. Issues with map flow and design, those can be minorly tweaked. Maps are a little more complicated, but if there's an issue with maps, we can talk about it. Weapon balance, if something's OP, we need to know now. We can get our nerfs, improvements balancing in now, or buffs on other weak weapons. Kill streak usability, that's a big one. Kill streaks, while they're cool, they do have a tendency to sometimes be awkward. Some don't have the best controls in the world. Some bug out in weird ways. Some aren't worth the points. But we can talk about all of these things. Say, hey, can I change this control scheme on the kill streak? Can we do the balance differently? That's a big one. One that already happened is the community demanded changes to the control schemes. They're tired of always having to take their thumb off the aiming stick to hit the A or X button to jump in AW, and they wanted a bumper jumper, so they added a bumper jumper. So even talking about improvements to control schemes and sensitivity, that's an important thing. Timers, settings, search and destroy, and hardpoint and dominations, all of these modes have a dozen different settings, and if the settings aren't right, they can be not very fun. For example, I'm going to pick on AW here, how the points are really, really high in domination, so it just turns into like a kill streak fest. Or if there's not enough rounds on search and destroy, if there's a spawning problem or something like that. Even color balance within the game. If something is savagely poorly colored where you can't see it, where it's grungy, where people with color blindness struggle, as long as you can express that in a coherent and nice way, I would bet that it's going to be paid attention to, and it might even be fixed. So you can't get a whole new game, but we can definitely improve on what we're having or what we're going to get come fall. And I believe that giving meaningful, concise feedback, and in mass, that's an important thing, we all need to be vocal about it, will change the game for the better. And lastly, I'll put it in here again, don't just get on Twitter and spam Vaughn. Vaughn gets like way more tweets than he could ever hope to possibly read in a given day. There are a dozen other Treyarch employees that are public on Twitter. You can look them up. An easy way to do it, and they're going to hate me for this, is click on Vaughn's page and then click on to see who he's following. You'll find a ton of them right there. Or just get on Facebook or Reddit or the COD forums or I Play COD and just talk about it. But again, constructive, nice, helpful, what's good, what's bad, and not, I hate all of this, you should all kill yourselves, you're terrible people, because that gets ignored. I do YouTube all the time. I ignore that all the time, and that's what I wanted to talk to you about today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something useful. If you did, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Drifter out.